guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Nakia, licensed counselor and certified Blerd. And today we're going to talk about prioritizing your mental health during the holidays. I'm going to teach you how to do that in 4 steps. And so number 1, I always start off by learning yourself. So I want you to sit with yourself and learn what your capacity is for the holidays. And that means, what is your emotional capacity to handle family, work, friends, all the different relationships. But ask yourself, what is my capacity during this season? And so when you're thinking about that, you think about, hey, what are the times where I hit my limit? What are the times where I blew up? What are the times where I broke down crying extremely and things of that nature? You're going to use that as your basis of, okay, so this is when I hit the head. Now I know where my volcano erupts. Now, what would have been the limit that I wanted it to be, right? When was going to be that time where I wanted to say, okay, you're doing too much. We're just going to stop it, right? And so you can think about it in the situation with the Todoroki family when they sat down for the family, and the son was just sitting there. The second oldest brother was sitting there like, man, like, I'm tired of y'all. Why are we sitting here acting like a big happy family? My trauma's coming up. I'm getting triggered, and y'all sitting up here trying to make us act like we're a big happy family. And we got this dude at the table who's gonna put us through so much, and then he starts going off at the table, right? That's his volcano. Now, if he's looking at what my capacity is, I believe his capacity was before he even showed up. I believe that if he learned himself, he would know that I am not in a place to sit at the table with this man. And since I'm not in a place to sit at the table with this man, I apologize, but I cannot show up. Right? And so that could be what his limit is, should he decide so. So you're gonna use the volcano and what limit that you want it to be at as a basis for how you interact with family, the triggers for your trauma, the things of that nature of like, what is my limit during this season as I try to deal with grief, like all the different avenues. But really sitting down with yourself first is very important, and getting to know yourself instead of just putting yourself in situations that you know can be very triggering. And so the second step is to make a plan. Yes, make a plan. With your newfound understanding of yourself, you are going to make a plan to be able to handle the holidays, be able to handle conversations with people, but you need to make a plan. And I'm going to have 3 different plans that you need to have. So the first is the escape plan. When things are going crazy, how are you going to exit the scene? Yes, you do need an escape plan. Why? Because if we don't understand when is it too much for us, and when is it time to exit, and then how we're going to exit, then what we're going to do is we're going to freeze. We're going to freeze, or we're going to try to fight our way out. You know, the trauma response is going to try to freeze, we're going to fight our way out, we're going to fawn, or we're going to take flight, but the flight is going to, you're going to falter a little bit. And so it's very important that you have an escape plan when you need it. And so sometimes people feel like, hey, I need an excuse. I need an excuse for this plan to go into fruition because I go back into my child self when I visit family. So I need an excuse. So if we go back to Todoroki family, all the children in Todoroki family, besides the oldest, is in school. So the first thing is being like, hey, I need to go to school. Or we could think about it in the terms of Shoto. At the dinner table, Shoto had brought his friends. And so a good plan would be, hey, with my friends, before I come here, just to let you know, it's kind of crazy in my family, and I may use you as an excuse to leave. And so I could be like, hey, what's the name has to go back to school, and he's my ride, so I gotta go. And you can use that as your escape plan. Have a little code word, pineapples, we got to get out of here. So the second plan is the coping plan. What are you going to do to take care of yourself during this time, during the holidays, right? Do not make the entire holidays about obligations to other people, right? There needs to be time just for yourself to be able to decompress, to cope, to find enjoyment, whatever you need during that space and time, especially with my people who are dealing with grief, right? Grief, trauma, loss, abandonment, all those things. You need to have that time, whatever you need it to be, right? And so I think about Gregory from Abbott Elementary. His way was to go out golfing, nobody around him chill and stuff like that. Because as you can see, people get real awkward when they're like, oh, you're not spending time with family? And then you tell them, yeah, I got this going on. And then they either try to overcompensate or they say the wrong thing, or it just turns into this, I have to take care of this person because they feel awkward. And so what he did is what I need is a space and time for myself. So that's what it looks like in the coping plan. What do you need for yourself when things get overwhelming? What do you need to take care of self? And so then the third is the aftercare plan. After all the festivities are done, after everything has taken its toll, triggers have came up, and you're just emotionally exhausted, plan for aftercare. Aftercare to process your emotions, aftercare to decompress, aftercare to rejuvenate yourself before you have to hop back into responsibilities or going back to work. But it's very important for aftercare. And I say that a lot to clients when they have to go on trips to visit family. You're going to need that day off before you go back to work, right? Do not go back and jump back into work. You need that aftercare to take care of yourself after you've had to give so much. You have to experience triggers. It's a lot. And so you should be able to have that time aftercare. And again, I want to reiterate setting time out for fun and enjoyment for yourself, whatever that looks like. If you're the type of person who works a lot and you say, I just want to lay in the bed for a full day and watch some movies, do it. You say, well, my way of rejuvenating, because I'm an extrovert, is I want to take my friends and we're going to go play Top Golf. Okay, we'll do it. And number 4 is having grace for yourself. Emotions are natural and they will come. We cannot control that. The only thing that we can control are our actions. And so we need to have space and grace for ourselves to experience emotions. And that's all emotions: sadness, anger, envy, happiness, jealousy, all the different emotions, disappointment, shame. So we need to make room and space to actually feel those emotions. And if they come up and, we end up cussing out a family member, we end up, running off, we end up doing all these things, have grace for yourself, because it takes time to be able to sit with our emotions, accept them, and utilize that to be able to change our actions and how we handle situations. So again, have grace for yourself, let the emotions pass and flow, apologize if you need to, reevaluate relationships, whether again you need to apologize or it's time for that relationship to end, but have grace for yourself. And all you need to do at the end of the day is pick yourself back up, make corrections, learn from the experience, and try again. And so that's 4 ways in order to prioritize your mental health during the holidays. And so I hope you learned something from this experience, and make sure you have fun and have grace.